Welcome back, welcome back. We about to indulge on this man shooting 4 people in the head on the train. Man, nigga got sniper gang. He like, I ain't doing it from a distance. I'm walking straight up on you.
They were found in two separate train cars at the
Going on
Forest
like
Park
that.
station just before 5:30 this morning. Train service was stopped, police lodged a massive investigation, and then we learned a suspect was captured. NBC5's Lexi Suter shares the chilling details tonight.
Who wakes up one day and decides to commit acts of terror? What kind of man carries out such heinous acts? Today, we delve into the chilling story of Rhanni S. Davis and the tragic events that
Big
unfold
Rhanni.
on Chicago's Blue Line. It's a typical Monday morning in Chicago. Commuters rush to catch their trains, unaware of the nightmare about to unfold.
This is a difficult way to start the newscast tonight with a ghastly crime that is truly hard to make any sense of. 4 people were shot and killed early this morning on a CTA Blue Line train. All 4 of them were sleeping.
Rhanni S.
Damn, he
Davis,
pulled up on them while they was
seemingly
sleeping on the
ordinary
train,
30-year-old
though.
man, boarded the Blue Line train.
Can't
His
even get an
actions
all-day
that day
pass
shocked
no
the
more.
entire city. As the train rattled against his tracks, Davis moved with calculated precision. He was not just a passenger, he was a predator. Davis's first victim was shot twice, once in the head, once in the back. The train car
Who was
filled
his
with panic,
victims?
but Davis was far from done.
He walked up to the last row of seating next to the unoccupied conductors, and he shot the unnamed 52-year-old victim twice. Once to the right
Y'all
side
don't
of his
see how he
head
limping
and once in the
now?
back of his torso.
It looked like he got the
Davis
strap on the
appeared in
side
court
of it.
wearing a tan jumpsuit, shackles clinging with every step. Prosecutors laid bare the gruesome details of his rampage. Prosecutors told the court Davis shot his second victim in the face and arm. His third victim was shot in the back of the head. He then moved to the next train car, where his fourth victim placed his hands in a futile defense before being shot.
Police say Davis went from train to train, allegedly randomly killing his victims near the Blue Line's Forest Park stop Monday. He escaped to a Pink Line train and was arrested by CPD.
Forest Park's deputy chief of police tells me he watched the security video tonight from the Blue Line train. He says it shows a man shooting 4 individuals while they were sleeping, and they were all spread
All
out
of them were
amongst
sleeping
2
in different
train
train
cars.
cars now.
Okay, today, the incredible new iPhone 16 Pro built from the ground up for Apple
Like,
Intelligence.
come on.
hope
Y'all
you were
just go on the
taking
train and go to sleep.
The new
I don't
iPhone
ride a
16
train. I
Pro
don't
with
know
Apple
about it.
Intelligence. Get it with Speed Boost on Spectrum Mobile.
Thought the train was like the bus almost. Like, you gotta stop and get off, right? Or it's gonna bounce on your ass.
Obviously it's shocking. It is uncommon, to have a mass shooting like this, especially this close to home, that we're actually actively investing on, on a holiday.
Forest Park police believe
Yeah,
this
that's
incident
crazy,
is
though. When did it
isolated
happen?
but random. They say the alleged shooter took off with the gun, but they found him and the weapon 2 hours later at a CTA Pink Line station.
Currently that
Hold
suspect
up,
is
man.
being
You
held in the
dumb.
Forest
You
Park Police
left
Department.
from
And we
shooting
believe there's
up
only
a
one
bus
suspect.
station.
As for a motive,
And then
police
when they
say
go
they're still
hide
gathering
another one?
evidence, as well as working to identify the 4 people murdered.
These victims were
Y'all must got a lot of
in their
bus
sleep.
stations.
Hoskins
Train
says they were shot at point-blank range. WGN Investigates has learned the shooter was wearing a mask when they approached the sleeping victims, and there was no provocation before the gunfire. While the shooter was wearing a mask during the shooting, surveillance video later captured them without it. The suspect was detained about 90 minutes later by Chicago police on a Pink Line train.
I have not watched the video, but our deputy police chief told me what he saw in the video. It's not a movie; it's real life, and it's what I'm told very gruesome.
The courtroom was
So why
silent,
you ain't watching
the air
it?
thick with tension.
Hey, that's your
Each
job.
detail painted a picture of unimaginable horror. Who was this man? Davis had a history of criminal activity, but no prior convictions. His attorney claimed he had a firearm owner's identification card, training in security, and recently worked at Taco Bell. It seemed like an ordinary life, hiding a sinister secret.
Alright, pause. Hold up. So he had his gun license basically. And he was like working at security. I'm only bringing like security, you gotta have like a ridiculous clean background. And if you got your gun on that gun license, you can finesse through or whatever. But down, you going to shoot random people, that might have been a hit. And they was just all on different carts, like, you know what I'm saying?
Secret. Surveillance footage from that fateful morning shows Davis leaping from the moving train. He falls, gets up,
That was
and
a
walks
shooter?
away. Moments later, a figure in a black ski mask and backpack follows. This was the face of terror. At 5:04 a.m., a Blue Line train arrives at the Harlem station. Davis exits the train, blending into the early morning
they
crowd.
show that cluck white
2
lady
minutes
walking.
later, he leaves the station, his dark attire concealing his identity. The police piece together his movements through meticulous
Oh, that's the
surveillance.
mayor.
The victims, 60-year-old Adrian Collins, 28-year-old Simeon Bahezi, 64-year-old Margaret A. Miller, and an unidentified man in his 50s. Their lives cut short in a senseless act of violence.
Like people.
The judge called these allegations absolutely horrific. Now, CTA's enhanced surveillance captured the suspect.
What barber he go to, man? What they putting in this motherfucking beard? Yeah, dude, look like you just let your soul glow.
Entering a train station around 4
Just let
a.m.
it
Then around
shine
5 a.m. Video from inside a train with the suspect now having a mask
I want
on,
whatever you put in
allegedly
your
shows
beard. I
him
want that
committing
shit in
these
mine,
very heinous
bro.
acts.
Like, I ain't gonna do
Surveillance
the cap.
video released
That
today
shit
showing the suspect
doing
walking
something.
into a CTA train station. Another camera capturing a witness narrowly escaping gunfire, jumping to the platform.
Oh, that
with
was
the
the
train in
witness that
motion.
hopped out while the
His
train was
clothing
moving.
matched the
Shit,
clothing
I
he had on
fuck
earlier.
that.
The surveillance footage was instrumental in identifying Rhanni S. Davis as the suspect. The police recovered a Glock 43 9mm pistol, confirmed to be the weapon used in the shootings.
A Glock?
Illinois State.
Nah, way homie was walking didn't look like he had no Glock. It looked like he had like an assault rifle. Like he was holding it on the side of his pants, limping and shit. Like a Glock, you could put that in your waist. Y'all ain't got no metal detectors to get on the train? No, I doubt that. They ain't gonna treat it like no airport.
Police crime lab compared the recovered shell casings from the scene to the gun recovered from the defendant's person.
The Blue Line spans 27 miles, connecting O'Hare International Airport to Forest Park. It weaves through neighborhoods, linking lives and stories. But on this day, it became a conduit for tragedy.
If they had some type of sensors, so like if you
Hey,
had
red
like guns or
bone,
something that you
little
weren't supposed to have,
cutie.
that it could be detected.
Well, they have those sensors at certain stations, just not at this station.
Not here, and we need it, definitely.
AI technology activated last month is aimed to alert authorities in real time of guns brandished on the L, only at select stations, though. Something this writer says needs to change.
That would definitely make me feel
out
more
in
secure.
their hand or on their hip.
Now, a CTA employee actually saw the
This
suspect
nigga put
on the pink line, and then
blue magic in his
authorities
beard.
also learned that a suburban police officer that was familiar with the suspect identified him from a surveillance video. Now, we do know that Davis will remain in custody. He was denied pretrial release. He'll remain in jail, now charged with 4 counts of murder.
The impact of Davis's actions rippled through the community. Families were shattered and the city mourned. Memorials sprang up honoring the lives lost. Candles flickered, illuminating faces marked by grief. As the investigation continues, one question remains: why? What drove
That's what I'm
Rhanni
saying.
S. Davis to such madness? Were there signs that were missed? Often, individuals who
that
commit
Molly.
such acts have underlying psychological issues. It's possible Davis had unresolved trauma or mental health issues that went unnoticed. Davis's past is
I don't feel that part, because if he's mental health, that means you passed the test to get your license for CC Dub. Somebody could have gave the answers on that. Cool. Then when you got hired to be a security guard, how you get through all of them classes and courses? Just to be a security, you ain't a real cop, but you still got to go through some courses. You faked it that long just to do this? Nah.
is now under scrutiny. Disorderly conduct in 2020, 2 prior arrests dismissed. A man with a turbulent history, but no clear
Oh
path
yeah,
to this horrific outcome.
Before that,
The police
he
worked
become a
tirelessly
security guard
seeking
then.
answers.
He wasn't no real
Every
security
piece
guard.
of evidence, every clue was critical in understanding the mind
He
of a
was just a
killer.
nigga with a CCW
The Blue Line
license.
continues its journey through Chicago, a lifeline for the city. But the memory of that day lingers. As the city heals, it also remains vigilant, hoping to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. This is a story of loss, but also a resilience, a reminder of the fragility of life and the strength of community united in the face of horror.
The mayor of Forest Park says this crime is rare for his small community, but what's not rare is his police having to respond to issues on the trains.
Over the last 2 years, our number of responses have increased exponentially. And so we're calling on our leadership,
Ain't this Chicago?
statewide,
The whole city done
to invest more resources to support a small
raise
city
up
like Forest Park
expeditiously, nigga.
and securing this area.
The CTA issued this statement, writing in part, although this was an isolated incident, this heinous and egregious act of violence should have never occurred, nonetheless on a public transit train. CTA will continue to work with local law enforcement as part of this ongoing investigation.
It's a horrible situation. You know, it's definitely something that you don't want to wake up to. You know, it's a Monday morning on a holiday. Everyone's supposed to be, you know, enjoying their time off, time with their families. It's Labor Day. You know, so to actually have to be here, you know, to address a situation like this, it's, you know, horrible.
In memory of the victims, may they rest in peace. Alright, gang, there y'all have.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to the victims, man. Subscribe and follow, man. Stop all these killings, man. Dummy. Put them hands up.